Association, the JAMA, which states all of the negative impacts on children and that they do not recommend that children be masked. I will share that with the rest of the commissioners. This is the least vulnerable of all of our population, and that we're focusing on them is absolutely unconscionable. We have had one hospitalization, according to our data, for children under 9 since July 1st. That's in 5 weeks. Our children 10 to 19, we have had 2 in the last 5 weeks. This is not a pandemic proportion that we need to be masking our children 12 years and younger. This is unconscionable. And I would urge my fellow commissioners, the school districts have authority to handle this. According to our legal staff, even if we pass this, if we approve it, that the school districts under home rule may opt out. The enforcement is through the school districts. What about private schools? What authority do we have over private schools? I am utterly appalled that we are doing this. COVID is taking the oxygen out of every other issue that should be before this board. It's time to get on with life. As in Plato's Republic, Socrates, and thus Rhodicus' struggles against death left him no time for the business of life. It's time for us to get on with the business of life. We should not be overriding what the school districts are deciding. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, Commissioner Myers?
Thank you, Chair. My position is that I cannot support the motion that's on the floor. My goal is to keep schools open and to keep kids in school. And I believe having a mask mandate will allow us to do that. I've had experience with seeing it, being part of it, doing it, not only masking throughout the day, but masking at football practice or football games for 3 and 4 hours after the school day. I know that the masks work. I've been part of it and seen it. And again, my goal is to keep kids in school and keep schools open.
Commissioner Hanslick.
Thank you. I would like to echo what Commissioner Myers said, that we can all agree that the best outcome for our students is to have in-person school. And masks will help us reduce outbreaks and keep kids in school and in sports. Otherwise, we're going to have to shut down classes and quarantine students. We've heard from a lot of people the impact that will have on parents who then have to stay home with kids while they're in quarantine. We heard that there are low rates of vaccinations in the 12 through 17 age range. We've heard from the physicians and from the American Academy of Pediatrics urging masking in schools. And we're also hearing the hospitals raising the alarm that their capacity is being threatened. Simply wearing a mask is the least thing we can do to keep our schools open, and I will not support the motion on the floor.
Mr. Ashcraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I am not appalled by this effort. Mr. Chairman, I think it was the right sentiment in terms of the issues that we're facing. And I know you struggled with this to try to come up with a step in the direction to address, as we heard from the audience today, and we've all seen in emails and communications, the almost absolute terror that this disease has imposed upon us. So I commend you for doing that, Mr. Chairman, and I want to be supportive of the effort. But what we also heard today, and I thought there were a number of good suggestions, but for me, what I reside in is that those suggestions try to fit the circumstances of the individuals and of the schools and the community. And our approach here comes across as one size fits all. And depending on the school, the ability to offer spacing, the ability to segregate kids that want a mask or don't want a mask or can mask or can't mask, I think is best left in the hands of the school districts. And they've already demonstrated, the school districts have, that they can change their mind based on good counsel from our staff and from others. And I know our staff has tried to provide that good counsel and will continue to do that. I just am not comfortable with us trying to impose a directive that, as Commissioner O'Hara has pointed out, is not enforceable, but tries to offer the illusion that it's a solution to this problem. And quite honestly, there is no solution to this problem. We just have to get through it as best we can. And so by trying to dictate something and hold up the hope that, oh, well, this will address it, I think we're fooling ourselves. And for that reason, I will support tabling it, but with the encouragement that we continue to work with the school districts, public and private, as well as any congregate learning centers otherwise, to try to address it on an individual basis.
Okay, thank you. Other comments? Ms. Allenbrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will not support that motion. I have heard from not only hundreds, but thousands of petitions of doctors, physicians, teachers, families that have special needs children. And at this time, I have to look at the vote for those children that have not been able to get vaccinated. So I will not support that motion.
All right, are there any other comments? Yep,
I'd
Ms.
like-
Fast? No, I'm sorry. Okay. Ms. O'Hara, one more?
Yes, this is according to a new report published by the American Medical Association, revealed forcing children to wear masks leads to adverse health effects. JAMA Pediatrics, a top-rated monthly journal published by the AMA, found wearing masks increased the amount of carbon dioxide in inhaled air to unhealthy levels. The study measured carbon dioxide levels in 45 children ages 6 to 17 while wearing masks. The normal content of carbon dioxide in the air is 400 parts per million. Anything above 2,000 parts per million considered unacceptable by the German Federal Environmental Office. The JAMA reports measured averages of 13,120 to 13,910 parts per million of carbon dioxide. Is 6 times higher than the unsafe threshold. The study further pointed out this measurement was after only 3 minutes of wearing a mask. Children forced to wear masks at schools find themselves wearing masks for hours, 5 days a week. This is the American Medical Association.
Mr.
Thank you
Chair,
very much. I will make my decision based upon the advice of many, many doctors who operate in Johnson County and in the metro area, the medical society, the pediatricians, and so they all continue to emphasize. One more, okay, go ahead, Ms. Hanslick.
I just wanted to mention, I believe that the JAMA study that Ms. O'Hara references has been retracted.
Thank you.
so Mr. Chair.
Any other comments? Ms. Allenbrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was going to make that comment as well, Commissioner Henslick, but also I wanted to let you know that there are many letters from physicians that I will give to our county clerk because they weren't able to be here today because of their practice and because they were concerned about the massive spread. Could you also, Mr. Chair, could you talk about what age group we're talking about?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you talk about, I guess we've got a motion for a vote now, so I can.
Yeah. The motion
Okay.
before us is to reject the public health order. And so will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Fast.
No.
Commissioner Myers.
Myers, no.
Commissioner O'Hara,
Yes.
Commissioner Hanslick,
Hanslick, no.
Commissioner Ashcraft,
Yes.
Commissioner Allenbrand,
Allen Brand, no.
and Chairman Eilert.
Eilert, no. I have 2 votes in favor, 5 opposed. The motion failed. Do I have another motion?
Mr. Chair?
Ms. Hanslick?
Yes, I move to adopt Health Order Number 001-21, thereby establishing public health recommendations to slow and reduce the spread of COVID-19 in Johnson County, Kansas.
Do I hear a second?
Allen Brand, second.
Hanslick made the motion. Allenbrand seconded the motion to approve the public health order as recommended. I would simply add to what Commissioner Myers has to say. We all want our schools open. We all want our kids in class learning. That's an objective that we all share, and I think it's important. And as we have learned this summer, there have been instances at summer camps of the same age, 5 to 12, where a camp had to be shut down because of spread. So it is real. It's unfortunate at this time that the age group of 5 to 12 do not have the opportunity to get vaccinated. And hopefully that comes sooner rather than later. I think it's also important in Johnson County, we have the good fortune of having very, very high vaccination rates amongst the older population. And the rate between 12 and 20 is very modest in the 30 to 40% area. And if we're going to kick this virus, we need to get vaccinated. That is the best option that every medical professional will offer us. And so for that reason, I would hope that the school districts would have and will continue to cooperate with our public health department and encourage that age group from 12 to 18 that's in their buildings with parental permission to get vaccinated. That will make a difference, and masking will help. Ms. Hanslick.
What grades you're talking about in this order? Is it K through 12 or K through 6?
I'm sorry.
What grades are you
Can't take comments from the,
Sixth grade. Yes. Obviously, there are 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds in 6th grade. Ms. Hanslick.
Yes, Mr. Chair, in that same vein and in respect to the many physicians that we have heard from, I would like to propose an amendment to the health order under consideration. And I move to expand proposed health order number 001-21 to require masks or other face coverings for students from pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, and to amend the health order throughout to reflect that revision.
Is there a second to that
Second,
motion?
Myers, second.
Commissioner Myers has a second to the motion to amend the public health order to include K through 12. I will not support that amendment. I do support the public health order. I think we need to give our school boards an opportunity in that area. And so if they decide to put that requirement on above 6th to 12th grade, they know their situation. And if the vaccine level increases to where they can remove it, they don't have to come back to us to get that permission. So, Mr. Ashcraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your comments. I think that reflects the problem that is presented by this effort when we try to mandate something that's so well-intentioned, but broad sweeping, and how it actually is implemented and used, and the absolute necessity by the individual districts and schools. So I will not support the amendment either.
Okay, other comments? Ms. Allenbrand?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will not be able to support that either, because I feel at that point, then we would have to look at anybody who has had the opportunity to vaccinate to wear a mask. So I can't support that at this time.
Other comments? Ms. Fast?
Yeah, I like parliamentary procedure on that. We had a first motion on the floor that didn't get voted on. And
I'm
then
sorry, what?
We had the original motion we never voted on.
Yes, we did. There was no motion to approve. The motion
Well,
was
the
to
original
reject.
motion was by Hanslick and Allenbrand for the
Oh, I
proposed.
see.
And we
Okay.
never voted on that.
Well, but the amendment precedes the vote on that motion.
But did Allenbrand agree to that amendment?
No.
No.
And so then there was no amendment because she didn't
No,
agree
no.
to have, so we need to vote
No,
on
no,
the
no.
original motion.
Listen.
Well, I like a parliamentary procedure.
Hanslick made the motion. Myers seconded
No,
the
the first
amendment.
motion.
The amendment. Okay, the amendment is before us. All right?
But I would like pegs, when you have an original motion, the person who first and seconded it has to agree to have that amended. Am I correct?
No.
No,
No.
not if it's a subsidiary motion.
No, it's a subsidiary, so just as you had indicated, it was done correctly.
Peg, I can't understand you with your,
I said it was done correctly.
okay, thank you.
Thank you for that. So the amendment is before us. The amendment is to go from sixth grade to K through 12. All right, understand the amendment?
Pre-K, Mr. Chairman.
Pre-K through 12. All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Fast,
Yes?
Commissioner Myers,
Myers, aye.
Commissioner O'Hara,
No.
Commissioner Hanslick,
Hanslick, aye.
Commissioner Ashcraft,
Ashcraft, no.
Commissioner Allenbrand,
Allenbrand, no.
and Chairman Eilert.
Eilert, no. I have 3 votes in favor of the amendment, 4 votes opposed, so the amendment fails. The original motion is back before us. The original motion is back before us. Any questions or
Yes, I
any
do.
comments? Ms. O'Hara?
Thank you. Okay, so I do have a question. The CDC only recommends masking. Why are we jumping beyond what the CDC is recommend? They are at recommending, they are not at mandate. So why are we say we're following CDC, but they are only recommending masks? Why are we not just recommending and allow the school districts to do what they need to do and allow the parents to have the final say as to how their children are going to be treated?
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Any other comments? All right, the motion to approve the public health order is before us. Clerk will please call the roll.
Commissioner Fast,
Aye.
Commissioner Myers,
Myers, aye.
Commissioner O'Hara,
No.
Commissioner Hanslick,
Hanslick, aye.
Commissioner Ashcraft,
Ashcraft, no.
Commissioner Allenbrand,
Allenbrand, aye.
and Chairman Eilert.
Eilert, aye. I have 5 votes in favor of the motion, 2 votes are opposed, so the motion carries. Thank you all very much. We have one other item left on our regular agenda. We'll take that item and then take a 30-minute or so break for lunch.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Would the clerk